All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on something that's literally all around us, but almost totally invisible. It's called space accounting. Think of it as the secret language that huge organizations use to keep track of, well, everything. Let's dive in. I mean, really think about that for a second. How does a massive company or a sprawling university even begin to know what it owns? Thousands of buildings, millions of desks, chairs, computers. It sounds completely impossible, right? Well, it turns out there's a surprisingly smart system that makes it all work. And here's the simplest way to think about it. We all get financial accounting, right? You track every single dollar coming in and going out. Well, space accounting is the exact same idea, but for every single square foot of property. Now, just like you can invent your own currency, you can't just make up your own rules for tracking space. The whole system works because there are official groups, or standard setters, that create a kind of universal playbook for everyone to follow. And these are some of the big players. You've got groups like IFMA and BOMA who set the best practices for how to manage buildings and measure rooms. Then there's OSCRI, which is all about making sure the data, the digital information, can be shared easily. And for specialized places like universities, you even have things like the FICM Red Book. They're all working to make sure everyone is speaking the same language. So, once you have those rules, you can start building what's called an information framework. Just think of it as a super organized digital filing system that lets you find any room anywhere in the world in just a few clicks. The whole idea is beautifully simple. You start big and you zoom in level by level. It's all about this drill down approach. By giving a unique code to everything at each level, you create this perfect, unbroken chain leading from the entire company all the way down to a single desk. Okay, so level 1 is the absolute top, the entire organization. This is the whole universe we're talking about, whether that's a company like Apple or a huge university system. Everything else we're about to talk about lives inside this one entity. From there, we take one step down to level 2, the location. You know, a big company has offices all over the globe, so the campus in California gets a code, the office in London gets a different code, the factory in Shanghai gets another. Each one is unique. Next, we zoom in even further to level 3, the building itself. Within that California campus, every single structure, from the main headquarters to a tiny parking garage, gets its own unique building code that links it back to that location. Now we're actually inside the building. Level 4 is the floor. Each floor gets a simple code, 1 for the first floor, 2 for the second, maybe RF for the roof. But this is also where something really important comes in. You need a digital twin. That's basically just a perfect, up-to-date digital floor plan that is an exact copy of the real thing. And that brings us all the way down to level 5, the individual space. This is as detailed as it gets. Every single room, an office, a conference room, even a storage closet, is given its own unique number on that specific floor. And often, they're color-coded on the floor plan by what they're used for, so you can see everything at a glance. Okay, so we've got all these separate codes for locations, buildings, floors, and rooms. Now here's where the magic really happens. We're going to stitch them together to create something incredibly powerful. It's like building with Legos. It's a simple 3-step process. You grab the building's code, you snap on the floor code, and then you add the room's unique number at the very end. And voila, you get something that looks like this. I know, it might just look like a random jumble of letters and numbers, but that little code is basically a global address for one specific room, anywhere in the world. So let's break it down. ALA might stand for the Los Angeles location. O3 is building number 3 on that campus. 1 is the first floor, and 167 is the specific room number. Just like that, the code tells a complete story. And the best part? No other room in the entire organization can have that same ID. It's one of a kind. Okay, but here's why that unique ID is a total game changer. Once you have that solid, unbreakable address for every physical space, you can start layering all sorts of other crucial business information right on top of it. This is where it gets really useful. To that unique room ID, you can now attach its purpose. Is it an office, a lab? You can link physical assets to it. Which computer belongs in this room? Which expensive projector? And, most critically, you can assign people to that exact space. And check this out. This table shows you exactly how it all connects. See our space ID from before? We now know it's used by the marketing department. Its occupant is Jane Doe, and her specific computer is PC9872. You can see the room next door belongs to her colleague John Smith. And with a quick glance, you can even see that room 201 upstairs in engineering is currently empty. All of this vital information is anchored to that one, single, verifiable code. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's not just an accounting exercise. The real goal is to seamlessly connect an organization's most valuable asset, which is always its people, to the physical space and the tools they need to do their jobs well. So you might be thinking, okay, that's a neat system, but why go to all this trouble? Why does this level of detail actually matter in the real world? Well, the bottom line is pretty simple. Space is incredibly expensive. For almost any big organization, their real estate is one of the biggest line items on the budget, usually second only to salaries. So if you're not tracking it effectively, you are just burning cash. What you want is the ideal, that clean, perfect digital twin where all your data is accurate, connected, and easy to find. But the reality for so many places is, well, it's a mess. It's like a digital junk drawer, just a folder filled with old floor plans, PDFs with handwritten notes scribbled on them. The data is scattered, it's unreliable, and it makes smart decision-making almost impossible. So the next time you walk into your office, or a lecture hall, or any room in a big building, just remember, it doesn't just have a room number on the door. It has a code. It has a precise location in a massive web of data, and that code tells a story about who uses it, what it's for, and how much it costs. So, what story does the space around you tell?